What if manifesting your next life upgrade were as easy as turning the car radio from static to your favorite song? Most of us were raised to believe that getting what we want is hard, mystical, even a cosmic lottery. But there's a direct, practical way almost nobody uses because they've never been shown how. In the next 6 minutes, I'll reveal the one natural skill you already have, the power of observation, and show you step by step how to collapse endless quantum possibilities into real-world results. No complicated rituals, no blind luck. Stick around, and you'll leave with a tool you can apply before your next commute or coffee run. Ready? Let's tune in. Mahida Fight of Complexity. Have you noticed that the moment the word manifestation surfaces, ordinary conversation turns foggy, as if a magician had suddenly drawn a velvet curtain across the room? The simple idea of shaping reality, something children do instinctively with imagination, begins to feel reserved for mystics or lottery-level luck. Behind that curtain lurk three silent assumptions. One whispers that the universe is a cosmic raffle, in which only a handful of fortunate tickets ever get called. Another insists that results demand a catalog of intricate rituals, hour-long visualizations, affirmations taped to every mirror, crystals balanced on every chakra. A third murmurs that nothing valuable comes without grinding effort, that sweat alone proves worthiness. None of those stories are conscious choices. We absorb them from family chatter, movie plots, and school mottos until they feel like common sense. Yet each collapses under scrutiny. Neuroscientist Joe Dispenza, tracking brainwaves and heart rhythms in his workshops, finds that the most dramatic shifts happen when participants do less, not more. When they narrow attention until thought, feeling, and physiology fuse into one coherent broadcast. The HeartMath Institute echoes this with data on cardiac coherence. A single breathing pattern, practiced for mere minutes, can nudge measurable outcomes in the external world. No labyrinth of techniques, no PhD in quantum physics. Why then do we cling to complication? Partly because complexity sells. Entire industries market the next method, the next retreat, feeding the belief that salvation hides behind a swelling paywall. Partly because the psyche equates value with visible sweat. Hand someone a lever they can move with 2 fingers, and instinct tells them to hunt for the heavier crank. Surely real change must demand real pain. Complicated routines also offer a convenient alibi. If nothing shifts, we can blame the moon phase or a mispronounced mantra instead of admitting our focus was scattered. The truth is that simplicity threatens the ego because it leaves no story to hide behind. If transforming your life can begin with a single conscious breath and a precise act of awareness, excuses evaporate. You cannot blame missing crystals, retrograde planets, or a guru's secret chant. The responsibility and the power rest squarely inside your own nervous system. That revelation is exhilarating, yet unnerving, so the mind races to carpet the bare floor with extra layers of technique, hoping complexity will soften the trembling fact that you are already at the control panel. Yet the quantum field does not grade by effort. It responds to signal purity, much like a radio cares nothing about how hard you twist the dial, only whether you land on the right frequency. Manifestation is not a wrestling match with unseen forces, nor a scavenger hunt for esoteric keys. It is an intimate dialogue with a responsive medium that continuously listens for the clearest instruction you can give. Strip away the noise, and that instruction is your focused, embodied observation, nothing more, nothing less. In the next segment, we will plug that instruction into daily life. A brief breathing sequence, one clarifying question to ask yourself while the barista pours your coffee, and a fast checkpoint that proves to even the most skeptical mind that reality just moved. When you witness that shift, even once, the myth of complexity dissolves, and the game is forever changed. Simplified scientific basis. Observer effect. Maybe you're wondering, okay, but how can something as simple as conscious observation possibly translate into real-world results? To answer that, we need a quick tour through one of the strangest, most beautiful discoveries of modern physics, the observer effect. Don't worry, no math quizzes here. Picture this. You're holding a camera whose lens is set to extreme soft focus. Through the viewfinder, everything is smudged, abstract, full of potential shapes that could be anything at all. That is the quantum world before anyone looks at it. Now twist the focus ring. The blur collapses into a single crisp image. The skyline, a friend's face, a tree in golden light. The instant you locked focus, every maybe turned into one definite is. On the subatomic stage, it works the same way. An electron drifts as a cloud of endless possibilities until it is observed. Then, snap. It chooses a single position and becomes a particle. This isn't theory from a self-help blog. It's laboratory fact. In the legendary double-slit experiment, electrons fired at a barrier behave like waves, spreading into complex interference patterns until a detector watches them. The mere act of observation flips their behavior from wave to particle and rewrites the pattern on the screen. Reality, it turns out, is allergic to being ignored. So what? Here's the practical punchline. The camera is your own awareness. Wherever your focus is fuzzy, scattered by doubt, fear, or doom scrolling, life mirrors that blur back to you. Half-formed opportunities, mixed signals, stalled momentum. But the moment your attention snaps into clear intent, the quantum field leans in like a mic to a singer, amplifying the precise frequency you've chosen to broadcast. That clarity doesn't require a PhD in physics, just the skill of noticing. One conscious breath, one deliberate question. What signal am I sending right now? And the dial shifts. We're not talking about forcing the universe. Force only adds noise. We're talking about tuning, the same effortless turn that finds a clean station on a freeway drive. Why do people miss this? Because simplicity feels suspicious. The mind loves a scavenger hunt of complicated rituals. Complexity provides a built-in excuse when nothing changes. Simplicity hands the steering wheel back to you, and that responsibility is thrilling but heavy. Still, it's the shortest path between possibility and experience. In the next few minutes, you'll see exactly how to grip that wheel. We'll walk through a 3-step practice, a 30-second coherence breath, a laser-focused question, and a quick reality checkpoint you can run while your latte is still steaming. By the end, you'll have proof, felt, not just theorized, that observation isn't passive watching, it's the master switch of creation. Ready? Let's zoom in. Practical metaphor. Picture this. It's 7:42 a.m. on a sun-bleached stretch of the 405 in Los Angeles. You slide into traffic, still half asleep, coffee steaming in the cup holder, and hit the radio hoping for a song that'll lift the fog. Instead, you get static. White noise crackle mixed with chopped up voices. Instantly, your shoulders tense. That uncomfortable buzz is exactly what life feels like when your attention is scattered by worry, self-doubt, or a scroll of bad headlines. You're tuned to a station of interference. You twist the dial, a fragment of melody appears, then vanishes beneath hiss. That's the mental loop of, am I doing this right? Or, what if it all goes wrong? Millions spend entire decades there, half receiving a signal, half lost in snow. One click further, and boom. Crystal clear stereo, bass line rolling, a DJ who sounds like he slept 8 solid hours. Relief surges through your chest. Without opening the dashboard or soldering a wire, you move from noise to music simply by choosing a new frequency. That sweet spot is emotional coherence. Thought, feeling, and intention locked together like harmonics. In coherence, you don't strain to hold the station, it holds you. The quantum field, ever responsive, now has a stable broadcast to amplify. Notice what you didn't do. You didn't recite a 20-minute mantra, reposition crystals, or memorize Maxwell's equations. You made a tiny conscious adjustment. Manifestation works the same way. Your inner dial is the mix of focus plus emotion you radiate. Leave it drifting and static. Fear here, doubt there. And reality mirrors the blur back to you. Snap it to a clean channel, and the world rearranges to match the clarity you just claimed. Why does this metaphor matter? Because it proves you already understand the mechanics. Every driver who's ever tuned a radio has performed the essence of quantum manifestation. The only difference is scale. Instead of FM waves, you're steering possibilities in the subatomic fabric of existence. So here's the invitation. The next time anxiety fogs your mental windshield, pause as if you're reaching for that dial. Ask, is this thought clear music or background static? If it's static, breathe once. Feel your hand turn an imaginary knob and choose again. Simplicity, not struggle, is the switch. In a moment, I'll give you a 2-minute technique that locks this clear channel in place all day. No matter how loud the traffic gets outside, once you feel the difference, you'll never settle for half-signal living again. Ready to keep the music playing? Let's roll. Central tool. It's time to move from theory to practice. Meet the tool that snaps you onto the exact frequency of your desire, the observer breath. The foundation is a classic 4-7-8 breathing cycle, but here it carries a deeper mission. We're not just calming nerves, we're dialing the inner tuner to the clearest station in the quantum field. Here's the drill. 1. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts. 2. Hold that breath for 7. Feel the stillness spread across your chest. 3. Exhale through parted lips for 8 counts, as if fogging a mirror. 1 round already softens mental static. 3 rounds create the silence where new reality takes shape. Now the pivot. The moment your lungs empty on that 3rd exhale, ask yourself out loud if you can, what frequency is my body broadcasting right now? Don't analyze, notice. Maybe your chest feels tight, or maybe you sense a lightness blooming behind your ribs. Whatever arises, witness it like a scientist, free of judgment. In that instant, you have shifted from unconscious participant to conscious observer, and the field must reconfigure around the signal you've just identified. Add a somatic anchor. Place both hands over your heart, fingertips lightly touching. As you breathe, let the palms open outward like a flower. This simple motion wires the question into muscle memory, making it easier to trigger coherence later, whether you're at your desk, in a checkout line, or moments from sleep. Try it with me right now. Sit tall, shoulders soft. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ask the question, notice the answer. That's your broadcast. Repeat anytime life throws static your way. 2 minutes before a big Zoom call, 30 seconds while the traffic light flips to green. Each time you do, you reclaim authorship of the scene unfolding around you. Why does it work? The breath shifts your physiology into parasympathetic harmony, lowering cortisol and synchronizing heart-brain rhythms. Conditions the HeartMath Institute links to measurable changes in external outcomes. The question then pinpoints your emotional wavelength, converting vague desire into a coherent command the quantum field can amplify. Breath equals silence. Question equals instruction. Result equals reality bending toward you. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need hour-long sessions. Think micro-practice, mega impact. A few cycles, several times a day, compound like interest. Within a week, you'll start catching tiny but undeniable coincidences. Emails answered faster, green lights lining up, the right person calling at just the right moment. Track them. Each one is proof that observation is active creation. Mini challenge. For the next 24 hours, run 3 observer breath check-ins, morning, midday, night. Note any shift, no matter how small, in a journal or voice memo. Tomorrow, review the list. You'll see the pattern emerging. Up next, we'll tackle the common roadblocks that can knock your dial off station: doom scrolling, office drama, midnight self-doubt, and the hacks to snap back in under 90 seconds. For now, breathe once more, open your hands and ask, what frequency am I sending right this second? Feel it? That's the doorway. Step through. Why do you lose the frequency? If the technique is so simple, why do I keep falling out of tune? Great question, because recognizing the saboteurs is half the battle. Let's spotlight the 3 biggest frequency thieves and the micro hacks that steal your power back. 1. Doom scrolling. You unlock your phone for a quick check and bam! 20 minutes later, you're knee-deep in catastrophe headlines, celebrity drama, climate panic. Each swipe yanks your attention to a jittery, low-grade signal. It's like spinning the radio dial so fast the static becomes your soundtrack. Fast fix. Set a 5-minute timer before opening any feed. When the alarm chirps, you decide whether to scroll on or snap back. That tiny boundary preserves coherence better than an hour of meditation undone by endless doom loops. 2. The inner critic. You're not good enough. This won't work for you. These whispers are pure static. They don't mean you're broken. They just reveal an outdated program running in the background. Fast fix, a 3-second mantra. I choose my frequency now. Repeat it the instant a self-jab appears. The phrase interrupts the neural groove and re-anchors your signal. Test it. Your chest will literally feel lighter. 3. Toxic environments. An office drenched in complaint. A relative who treats gloom like small talk. Even a cluttered room can tug your dial off station. You sense it. Enter the space. Feel your mood plunge. Fast fix. Schedule 90-second coherence breaks. Step outside. Inhale once for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. While you breathe, imagine turning an invisible knob from noise to music. 90 seconds resets cortisol and reminds your system who's at the wheel. Why these hacks matter? Consistency beats intensity. Grand rituals fail if daily micro-disruptors keep scrambling the broadcast. Think of your frequency like a GPS route. Even tiny detours demand recalibration. The sooner you correct, the less energy you waste. Quick experiment. Do it with me now. Pause this video for 10 seconds. Check the last app you opened. Was it adding static or clarity? If static, close it. Breathe once. Whisper the mantra. Feel the upgrade? That's real-time proof you command the dial. What about unchangeable situations? Commutes, difficult colleagues, global news cycles. They're not disappearing. The goal isn't to live in a bubble, but to become the dominant signal in any scene. Observer breath plus these micro hacks form a portable shield that lets you walk through noise without absorbing it. Recap the playbook. Timer for feeds, mantra for self-talk, 90-second breath breaks for external chaos. Nail those 3 and you'll notice fewer mood swings, quicker recoveries, and a growing list of coincidences that line up with your clarified intent. Up next, we'll stitch everything into a single 24-hour blueprint so you can test, track, and prove the power of observation in your own life. No guesswork, just data you can feel. Ready to lock the dial for good? Let's build your day. Applying the observer breath. The most exciting part of this journey starts right now. A 24-hour test drive that lets you feel, rather than just hear about, quantum manifestation in action. Think of it like taking a brand new electric car around the block. One day is enough to know if the engine hums with you, and you're under no lifetime contract. At sunrise tomorrow, before you reach for your phone, stay in bed, close your eyes, and run 3 cycles of the observer breath. Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8. On the final exhale, ask aloud, what frequency is my body broadcasting right now? Notice micro sensations, warmth in the chest, flutter in the gut, maybe a sudden calm behind the eyes. Whatever shows up is perfect. Witnessing it is the dial turning. That single practice is your master key, but we'll use it 3 more times during the day. Just before your first big task or meeting, mid-afternoon, when energy usually dips, 5 minutes after you park the car or step back into your home. No ceremonial setup, no incense. 2 minutes, 4 times. Total investment, 8 minutes. Now for the critical piece, the night note. Before sleep, open a notebook or a notes app and jot. 1. How easy was it to remember the breath? 2. What emotional weather did you observe each round? 3. Any coincidences, flashes of insight, or lucky breaks between sessions? Keep it short. Bullet points are fine. The goal is evidence, not literature. Tomorrow night, compare pages. You'll see patterns emerging, proof that inner frequency precedes outer events. A few pro tips to amplify the ride. Stack triggers. Pair each breath round with something inevitable. Morning coffee aroma, calendar alert, driveway gate opening. Celebrate micro shifts. A green light where you expected red, a stranger holding the elevator, an email arriving sooner than planned. Log them all. Recognition locks the frequency. Stay playful. This is an experiment, not an exam. Curious minds generate clearer signals than pressured ones. Remember, it's only 24 hours, but that's plenty. Most people notice their first synchronicity before lunch. By evening, you'll feel the fabric of the day soften, as if reality itself is leaning closer to listen. So here's the challenge. Commit to 1 day of deliberate observation. Set a reminder right now, write observer breath X4 on a sticky note, and meet me on the other side of the clock. Tomorrow night, you won't need my words. You'll have your own data. Ready to discover what a single conscious breath can set in motion? We've reached the end of this journey into quantum manifestation, and you now own the simplest lever in the universe, the power of observation. Every moment your attention acts like a camera lens, snapping one frame out of infinite quantum possibilities and projecting it onto the screen of your life. Now it's your turn to film the sequel. Take the 24-hour test drive, breathe, ask the question, jot the signs, and watch the field answer back. When you experience even one synchronicity, no matter how small, pause, smile, and remember. I chose that frequency. If today's exploration resonated, type "I am the observer" in the comments. It's not just a phrase, it's a declaration that you're done letting static pick your station.